With only 2 weeks left until Dragon Age the Veilguard comes out and anticipation comes to a close for this game, or for some other people, the lack thereof anticipation comes to a close for this game, we are bound to get a lot more information about the game. And with the most recent bundles of information that have come out across the internet, we have seen a lot of different things about spec requirements for the PC. We have also seen stuff about preload times for the consoles, and we also now have some good and bad news for the PC that just released. But in my opinion, I do think the good is outweighing the bad here, but we're going to get to that in just a second, starting with the bad. But before we get into the video, we have just hit 300 subscribers. We're well on our way to 500, and I really appreciate your guys' support on my channel. If you like gaming news, if you like gaming reviews, and you are new here and you like this video, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it, guys. So let's get into the video. So starting off with the bad news here, which is pretty explicitly stated here in the title on this PC Gamer article by Andy Chalk, but Dragon Age the Veilguard is not going to have preload period on PC. However, it's also not going to have Denuvo, which is a really good counterbalance in my opinion. But just really quickly on not having the preload period on PC, this definitely sucks. This is a bummer. I'm someone that can empathize with this because when I was growing up, just even a couple years ago, I had horrible internet. It would take me 24 to 48 hours to download a game, and not having preload options for a game meant I wasn't playing it for multiple days sometimes after my friends or after people, in this case on console, were playing the game, which definitely sucks. But I would much rather have no preload and no Denuvo than I would to have Denuvo as well as a preload, and we'll get into that here in a second. So the article says, for those not familiar, Denuvo is a form of anti-piracy software that's very popular with game publishers and extremely unpopular with an awful lot of gamers who believe its presence can tank a game's performance and stability. And we have seen this so many times in the past where Denuvo is on a game. It's on, I would say, a majority of these new AAA games that are releasing, specifically with Ubisoft and some of these other big developers. But the biggest thing is they just don't want people to pirate their game. And the reason people are pirating their game, and we've seen this a lot, even the head over at Valve spoke about this, is not because people don't have enough money for the game. It's usually because people, specifically a lot in other countries, that maybe aren't getting the game for 3 months down the road and have to go to a brick and mortar store to actually buy the game and can't purchase it online. Like, the pirate is offering a better service than the actual developer of the game is offering in that instance. And also, Denuvo can tank the stability of games. People don't want to play a game with Denuvo in it because of that as well. People want their game to run well, and this is mostly affecting people with lower or medium end PCs. A lot of times higher end PCs can kind of get away with not necessarily noticing it too much, but as the article says here as well, it's not uncommon for publishers to remove Denuvo once a game is no longer doing big sales numbers and concerns about piracy are less pressing. EA finally removed Denuvo from Star Wars Jedi Survivor in September, for instance, but foregoing its outright is a little more unusual. EA didn't say why it opted to take a pass on DRM like Denuvo, but I've asked and will update if anyone explains, and I will tell you why. Because Dragon Age and the developers at Dragon Age specifically stated that we trust you. Bioware is coming out and trying to be as confident as they can about this new game, giving people that playtest the game in the pre-release event 6 to 7 hours to play this game as freely as possible up into a certain act in the game. That is huge. Releasing it for $60 and not making you use the EA launcher to play this game. That is huge. Now, not including Denuvo in their game. That is also huge. They are trusting people to enjoy their game and play their game, and that it's a non-buggy, very polished, actual good game that people are going to be able to enjoy. This is another thing that is showing their confidence. On top of this, all of the pre-order stuff is not trying to scam you out of your money. It's just appearance items. So all of these things together, they're not doing like a 3-day early access for the game, anything like that. All of this together is showing we're on the back foot. We have to make this game a very good game. So let's do whatever we can with our, monetary practices before the game to make sure that you guys, the customer, are not feeling cheated out of, and we're actually delivering you a good game. Now, This game could come out and be an absolute mess. This game could come out and suck. Even though a lot of people have said it's good in the pre-release events, obviously this comes with a lot of bias, being flown out, etc. Obviously that's going to come with bias there, regardless of how much they try not to show a bias towards the game or show a bias towards Bioware. On top of this, they haven't played the full game. Later in the game, there could be a lot of bugs that pop up. I know a ton of people are not excited about the art style. A ton of people are not excited, including me, about the new combat in the game that is differing from the original Dragon Age combat. So all of this together is definitely a big reason to be skeptical on it, but the confidence Bioware is showing with these practices, I think is really important. I think it's something that a company like Ubisoft could low-key look at and say, maybe we can do this, and try to instill some confidence in our players as well that we're going to make a good game. But who knows? I'm not super confident any of these studios in the AAA games or AAA gaming sphere are going to make a good game until I play the game and think for myself this is a good game, but we will have to see. They also dropped the hardware requirements, so this is on PC specifically. So if you guys want to just pause this video real quick and take a look, these are all of the PC requirements. And last but not least, you can read these down here as well, and they listed the global launch times for the game. So it looks like me being in Eastern, I'm going to be able to play this game at noon, but being on PC, probably around 3 o'clock. Everywhere else, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., you know, across the world, all these different times. So check this out as well. Pause this if you want to see where you live and what time this is going to be available for you. Now, overall, despite the Denuvo, despite not having a preload time, despite all the skepticism around this game, even for myself, I'm skeptical about a lot with Bioware and with this game in general. I am still excited for this game to come out, for a new RPG within the Dragon Age universe to come out, and if it's ass, it's ass. I'm going to be trying it out for myself. I will review the game on this channel and give you guys my feedback on the game once it's finally out. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you so much. We're almost at 500 subscribers, so if you like this video, please subscribe. Comment down below what you think about this. Are you going to be playing it on console, or are you going to be playing this game on PC? Are you happy that they're not putting Denuvo in the game? I think all of this, for the most part, is a net positive in my opinion. Like this video if you like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!